Hello. Okay, we are continuing our conversation around resistance because it is so incredibly important that you understand what it is, that you understand how it's created on that deeper level, like we talked about in the last video, and that you understand how to address it. So if you are someone who identified with those things in the checklist that I shared, and you're like, yes, I know that this is an issue, I actually hope that this brings you a whole lot of comfort. And here is why. Because you are probably and have probably for a while been trying to do things to resolve this that aren't working. And you likely have been doing things on a surface level as to why they're not working. So, for example, maybe you have been like buying planners. You're thinking, if I just get more organized, then that will work. Maybe you're trying calendar blocking and time blocking. Maybe you think that, like I said, it's a productivity issue or an organizational issue. That type of surface level, like trying to change yourself at the action level, is never going to work because of what's going on much deeper under the surface in your brain and in your body. The other thing that you might be trying is maybe you started to realize that, okay, maybe this actually is a me issue. Maybe this is a mindset issue, even. But a lot of people that talk about mindset don't really explain and honestly be able to show you on a practical level, what do you actually do to change your mind? Like, people talk about affirmations and things like that. And I will be the first to tell you that that shit doesn't work. There are ways that it works when you understand brain psychology and how the brain is wired that you can use to your advantage. But just trying to tell yourself like positive thoughts or believing that you're valuable, like telling yourself you're valuable when deep down you don't believe that you are, is actually going to create significantly more conflict. Because in situations like that, if you have a strong thought that's like, no, our work isn't valuable, and you're trying to have an affirmation that you repeat regularly, my work is valuable, my work is valuable, those two thoughts are going to clash. They're going to get in a fight in your brain. You will feel it energetically. It will show up as anxiety. It will show up as chaos. It will show up as feelings of panic. So if you are trying affirmations and they actually feel like they're making it worse, that's why. Okay. The other thing that you might be thinking is you just need the right strategy. Like, I just need a different business strategy. You're like buying courses or trying to get like all the steps exactly right. Like, once I have all the steps, then I'll be able to do it. But the thing is it either continues to not really make sense. It's like you get all the steps from someone and you still can't, like, it won't make sense or you can't make yourself do it. That's because of what's going on under the surface. So if you're someone who feels like you have tried all of the things and you still cannot get yourself to take the action, or you can't get yourself to figure out what to do because like something is just blocking you, there is something deeper under the surface going on. And I can promise you with all my freaking heart, if you don't address it, you will stay in this place forever. That sounds incredibly like abysmal. Is that the right word? But it's true. And so this is why it's actually such a beautiful thing that you are watching this video, that you are learning this now, because this doesn't have to be your reality. Like, you don't stop trying to calendar block. Stop trying to write down your goals a million times a day. Stop trying to do the affirmations. Stop trying to tell yourself, just do it. Why can't I just do it? Why can't I force myself to do it? And then shaming on yourself because you're not making it happen. Stop all of that. Like, let's just address this at the deeper issue. Let's dissolve that resistance and let's get you moving. Okay? So that is my goal for you. I'm going to talk a little bit deeper in this video about the mechanics of rewiring and dissolving those thoughts. And then at the end, I'm going to share about how you can work with me deeper if you want to continue to stay committed and dissolve all of these things so that you can have this amazing, beautiful success that I know that you're capable of. Okay, so here is how the brain works. I want you to, we're going to pick that. So in the last video, I showed you how we want to identify those specific thoughts that are causing the resistance. And that's the specific thought that we were going to isolate and work with. So let's say, for example, you identified, oh my gosh, I'm not able to move forward because this resistance is actually coming from this belief that my work isn't valuable. So we're going to isolate that thought. My work isn't valuable. Now, I could get into doing a thought model about this. I would love to get into doing a thought model about this, but that's not what we're doing in this video. Okay, so here is how I want you to think about starting to dissolve this thought so that it goes away. Your brain is very much like a courtroom. It has two sides to it. There's two sides to everything, right? And your brain has two sides, and it's very good at seeing all the sides and seeing all the angles and arguing all the arguments. If you are an overthinker, you know this so well. Okay, so I want you to imagine that we're going to outline a courtroom here. And this, my work isn't valuable, is the topic that is being debated inside your brain, obviously, but we're going to look at it on our board. So inside this courtroom in your brain, this is the topic that's being debated. So there is going to be half of the courtroom. This is like we're looking at a plan view, if you guys didn't think of that. This is one table is going to be arguing for this, and one table is going to be arguing against it, right? My father was an attorney. This is probably why I use this metaphor, but it's super effective and actually like very, very accurate. Probably why I'm also so good at thought work. Okay, so we're just going to put a plus and a minus. So one piece of your brain is going to be like, yeah, this is totally right on. Her work is not valuable at all. And this side piece of your brain is going to have all this evidence. It's not valuable because that one person that said they didn't want to pay for it. It's not valuable because so many people do what she does. It's going to have all this evidence, right? That's like all these reasons why. And it's presenting them to the judge and the jury. The jury's over here. Here's all the people in the jury. The judge is up here. See if we're still on here. Yep. Here's the gavel. There's the gavel. So the judge and the jury are listening, and the judge and the jury are like, oh yeah. This guy's right. Totally. Work isn't valuable, not valuable at all. And as long as this side of the courtroom has stacked all of this evidence to convince the judge and the jury that this is true, then the consensus in your brain is going to be, yep, that's definitely true. And as long as you continue to believe that that's true, your resistance is going to exist. So here is where the other side of the courtroom is incredibly important. We have another side of the courtroom because there's two sides to every story, right? This side of the courtroom is going to be arguing against it. Now, what does an attorney do in a courtroom on a case if they are up against proving something wrong? They are going to start to question. They are going to start to poke holes in the case. They are going to start to provide evidence to the contrary. They are going to start to welcome in doubt. Those are all things that this side of your brain needs to start doing to dissolve the case. The goal is that we need to dissolve this case. So this side of your brain needs to start to introduce all these ideas as to why this is actually maybe not true. And you might start to be like, well, I did have 3 clients pay me $5,000. Okay, that would be good evidence. I do have, 1,000 people following me on social media. They must care. I do get a decent amount of traffic to my website. So, not that this is your example, but for this person, they're starting to find like, okay, um, oh, damn it. Ugh, my computer keeps like going to sleep. So annoying. Okay. So, as the more evidence that this side finds to be like, you know what? Here's all the reasons why her work is valuable. Here's all the reasons we're presenting. What's going to happen is the judge is going to start to go, yeah, maybe the work is valuable. And the jury is going to start to go, yeah, maybe the work is valuable. And up until this point, you have been at a place where the jury has either been convinced of this belief or it has been just heavier on the evidence side here than over here. And we really want to get you to a place where you have provided enough evidence, that is enough compelling evidence, that is enough repetition of belief that the jury, you topple the jury, and the jury is obviously you and your brain, where you start to go, you know what? This isn't freaking true at all anymore. Like, it's just not. It's not true at all anymore. And you flop the jury. That is what we're after. Now, I have made it sound like it's going to be very hard and very confusing to do this. It's really not. I actually have an incredibly simple exercise that takes 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. And if you do it every single day for 20 days, then it flops. Like it flops. On average, actually, most people around day like 12 to 15, 17 in there are like, oh yeah, don't believe that anymore. Resistance is gone. That thought is gone. Totally changed human. So I do have exercises, 2 of them, in fact, one of them that I just mentioned, another one that I call tipping the scale, which are very simple. Honestly, even like a first grader could do them. I actually did them with my second grader yesterday. So I make it incredibly simple to do this work, and it is incredibly effective. I just wanted to outline this to you so that you started to understand how it works, so that if you are someone who wanted to take this idea and run with it and go do it on your own, you absolutely can. Like, more power to you. Take this concept, go topple that resistance, flip the jury. It's going to be awesome. You have got this. If you are someone who is like, oh, I think I might need more hand holding, still feel lost, then all day long, I would love to help you. Like I said, I have multiple exercises that make it incredibly easy. I'm going to have an email going out that is sharing the ways that you can get your hands on those or work more closely with me. So keep an eye out for that. And like, lastly, just really feel so proud of yourself that you're here. There are so many people that go through, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying. There's sometimes when this happens, when I'm talking about business stuff and it like really hits. There are so many people who go through life with massive resistance and massive questioning and massive self-doubt and all of the things that keep them stuck. And they never get to a place where they're given the tools, or the understanding, or the help to get past it. So I want you to thank yourself for even getting this far. This is huge. And you should be incredibly proud for not giving up on yourself and staying committed to your dreams and goals. And I promise you that growth is not that far away. Okay, have a good day.